An opiate is an opiate. I don't care which one it is. Every one of them will kill you.
How many times have you overdosed?
14.
Every time I've ever used Narcan, I thought the person was going to die. And after administering the Narcan, they come to.
This is a miracle drug. In the first 18 months of the program, we were able to reduce the death rate by 66%.
Up and up.
The United States has seen a spike in opioid abuse over the past decade. In 2010, an average of 100 people a day died of an overdose. Drug overdoses now kill more people each year than gunshot wounds or car accidents. But finding a solution has been hard because of the stigma surrounding drug users and lack of support for programs that are based on reducing the harmful effects of drug use, rather than those requiring abstinence. Bobby grew up in North Weymouth, right next door to Quincy. He's been saved by Narcan over a dozen times. He started using OxyContin when he was 15 and moved on to heroin at 16.
You know, you do something every day long enough, it's going to turn into a habit. And unfortunately, with that habit, you get sick when you stop doing it.
How many times have you overdosed?
14.
And have you ever had Narcan used on you?
Yeah, several times.
Who gave you Narcan? Was it cops or hospital?
Cops, ambulance, hospital, my sister, my friend's mother.
The criticism I hear about Narcan is it enables people.
Well, it doesn't. What it does is it saves lives, and that's sort of the bottom line, you know? People are gonna relapse and get high, maybe need it more than once. It's a part of recovery, it's a part of addiction, people going back out there. If there wasn't Narcan available, I wouldn't be here. And not only, would I not be here, but my mother would be without a son.
After his last arrest, Bobby was given the option to go through drug court in Quincy and work towards sobriety, instead of serving time for drug charges.
How are you, Mr. Neumeier?
I'm good. How are you, Your Honor?
I am well, thank you for asking. Well, you made it to this sober house. This is great news.
It's just crazy. It's my first program I've ever graduated.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, so I'm 1 for 5 with programs, but...
So you're 1 for 5.
But it's good that it's my last one and not, you know what I mean?
It is a process, and I understand entirely.
That it is.
He has been clean 11 months and 11 days.
You know, before I knew it, I was, 2 months, 3 months, 90 days clean, which I've never had in my life. And, it felt unbelievable, so I just sort of stuck with it, Here I am 11 months later, 11 months, 11 days, feels good.
By decreasing the possibility of a fatal overdose, Narcan is increasing the chance that an addict will eventually go into recovery. It might take years as it did with Bobby, but decades ago, this option didn't even exist. And in many parts of the country, it still doesn't. If Bobby had overdosed just across the border in New Hampshire, where Narcan is only available to medical professionals, there's a good chance he may not have survived. But it's not as simple as just passing a law. State medical boards, police unions, and other relevant agencies all have to be on board. And while Narcan is starting to gain mainstream acceptance, progress has been slow. And the states that have the greatest number of fatal overdoses currently have no Narcan programs to speak of. And that's the tragic part of the story. Bureaucracy and politics standing in the way of a drug that can be administered by just about anyone and can give a person on the brink of death one more chance to turn their life around.